Hi, welcome back to Mona's Take. I am your host, Mona Rose, and we're here to talk about everything reality TV. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss anything I have coming up. Today's video we have, oh Lord, we have a lot. Real Housewives of Atlanta, Real Housewives of Potomac. Things are going off. It's only been 2 days and there's so much. So let's get right into it. People are acting on a whole nother level on that. Can't wait to see that karma train coming through. Choo-choo. Mood of the day. Really? You gotta give us more credit than that. Some people, buckle up, buttercup. When someone shows you who they are, believe them. Hi. So the first thing that comes up is that Drew and Ralph from Real Housewives of Atlanta, that Ralph filed for a divorce. And he says that, let's see, how do you put it? Unfortunately, we've made the difficult decision to move on to our next chapter. This is from People, an exclusive interview that he did with them. Unfortunately, we've made the difficult decision to move on to our next chapters, independent of each other. Drew and I decided to file for a divorce. We have 3 amazing young children, and their mindset and growth is what is most important as we navigate this difficult time. I ask that you respect our privacy. Of course. The thing is, when you're a public figure, you don't get a whole lot of privacy when it comes to stuff like this. Now, I got people going back and forth on Twitter. They're shook. They're so surprised. I'm like, have you been watching Real Housewives of Atlanta? Because I've seen this coming for 3 years at least, however long she's been on the show. He cheats on her, allegedly. He can't tell her where he's gone for days at a time or who he's with or what he's doing. He's cheating. Come on, be real. When he is around, he's condescending to her. He puts her down. Doesn't try to lift her up at all on the show that I've seen. So this isn't a surprise to me. But what I thought was funny was this article came out. And then, let's see, let's get on down here. What does he ask for? Let's see, he's asking for a divorce. He listed their separation date as February 19th. She says February 23rd. Through document from Pittman's request, join legal and physical custody of their children. Wait a minute. Through documents from Pittman, request joint legal and physical custody of the children. Okay, so they're joint. What's funny about this is that Drew beat him to the courthouse by like an hour, like 61 minutes. She filed for divorce before he filed. Sedora's petition notes that there is no chance of hope of reconciliation between the spouses. They married on August 2014. They have, 2 kids? Let's see. Sedora and Pittman married August 2014. They later welcomed son Micaiah, I can't pronounce his name. They later welcomed their son in June of 2015 and her daughter in February of 2018. She also has an 11-year-old Josiah. So, if we remember, he wrote a book about being a step-parent and everything, left her completely out of it. She didn't even know what the book was about that he was writing. I just found him to be very condescending. So this is not in any way a surprise to me. Last year, Sedora discovered a suspicious text message between her husband and his female assistant and was later fired. Finding out my husband was getting close with his assistant was really hard on me, she said on the show. I packed up my kids and we went to Chicago. I literally ran away from home. Sedora also said she wants Pittman to respect the relationship. Real Housewife of Atlanta classmate also took with Kenya Moore calling Pittman so disrespectful as he's faced accusations of gaslighting his wife. He's been doing that. So none of this is really a surprise for me. What I did think was funny was that she beat him to the courthouse. So I figure this is probably going to be a messy divorce, because if not, one of them would have filed and the other would have just cooperated. But since they both went to the post office to file separate petitions, I'm guessing that that's not going to be the case. She also posted in an amended divorce complaint obtained by TMZ, Drew says she simply cannot take Ralph's continued blatant disrespect and mental abuse any longer. She goes on to accuse Ralph of being a serial cheater during their marriage, even claiming some of the women he's allegedly had affairs with have rubbed it in her face, sending her screenshots of their sex with Ralph. Sexed. I can't pronounce that. Sexy text, I guess I will say, with Ralph. That's not all, though. Drew also says Ralph has recently gotten physical with her. She says that about a month ago, he grabbed her cell phone out of her hand and threw it to the ground. She fell to the floor. Said Ralph yelled at her, saying that he pays the cell phone bills, so the cell phones belong to him. I can see him. I mean, just the little bit of disrespect that I've seen on the show with her and him, I don't doubt that it's become more physical, allegedly, but we'll see how that goes. I keep saying allegedly because we got a whole lot of lawsuits in the works, and I don't want to be one of them. So the next topic that I wanted to talk about was Survivor, last night's Survivor. That was, for me, that was the worst episode I think I've seen that I can recall. I don't know if I'm going to be able to stay into it. I'm going to see if I can stay into it. Don't particularly care for some of the cast members, but maybe they'll grow on me. I don't know. But medical, how many times can medical be called in one show? Bruce, the first challenge right off the bat, he goes to crawl underneath, you know how they have the wood pallet things and you have to crawl underneath in the mud or whatever. Well, he went to crawl underneath that and he hit his head on one of the pieces of wood, and he hit it pretty hard, busted it open. It was bleeding. He tried to stay and keep going with the challenge. And as soon as the challenge was over, they called for medical, or they stopped the challenge. Did they stop it? No, they continued the challenge. Anyway, medics were called. They bandaged him up, checked him out and everything, said he was okay to continue. He went back to camp. He did pretty good for a while. But then the cast started noticing that he was like slowing down and like staring out into space, and he was getting dizzy, and they called medical back in and they pulled him from the game. He did, I read later that he did have a concussion. So it's a good thing that they went ahead and pulled him from the game. Okay, so they had 3 calls for medical. Bruce was medically evacuated. He climbs up on a big rock looking for clams and ends up falling to the bottom. dislocated his shoulder. He put his shoulder back into place. But he has it in a sling, homemade sling or whatever. He's just told to take it easy. Anyway, another player had medic called during the challenge because they overheated. So they had to sit out in the shade and be attended to while the rest of the challenge went on. So there was medical call 3 times. This comes from BB Memes. He says, 3 calls for medical, 1 player medically evacuated, a correct idol played, 2 shots in the dark played, one of which was the first ever to result in immunity, 6 votes cast, and Maddie went home. So, and that was just the premiere episode. Okay, so they're walking, each one of them are walking through camp, and they come across this bird cage that has something hanging in it, and it has a lock on it. It's out in the middle of the open. I mean, just like walking it through the path, and it's in the middle of open on all 3 places. And it has to have a key to open it, so nobody's too worried about finding the key. They got other things going on. One of them eventually finds the key, opens it. He's the one that played the idol. I can't even do this because I have no idea what I'm talking about or who these people are. Oh. So anyway, the cage is out in the middle of nowhere. One of the teams actually, one of the guys finds it, opens it, and it's an idol. Where their little journey where they used to go to protect a vote or risk a vote, now they go on individual journeys through there, the 3 people, and they split up. And there's a bag at the end, and you have to draw. And it has 1 advantage, and it has 2 lose your votes. You have to draw at least 1 thing out of that bag. If you do a lose your vote, then you can go again and try for the advantage. And you may get the advantage, but you also may get the other lose a vote, and you lose your vote for 2 weeks or 2 tribal councils instead of 1. They're just making it so damn easy. It's like, why don't you just why don't you get them to the beach? Here's you an idol. Here's you an idol. Here's you an idol. Everybody gets an idol. Oh, you want an advantage? Okay, I'll chuck 1 back here. They don't have to fight or play for these advantages. And to me, that just takes away from the game. And you can tell that I'm not even into it because I don't even know any of their names. I know Maddie because she was the one voted out, but I can't tell you what tribe she was on or anything else. I will get caught up on that before next week and do my Survivor one a little bit better than this. But that's my rant on Survivor. I can't get into, have not got into it the first episode. I will rewatch the episode, take notes, and try to do a better video on just Survivor sometime this weekend. So, that was Survivor. We did that. Let's jump on over to Real Housewives of Potomac. And Peter Thomas responds and has since deleted that response, but I think I can still play it from here. Peter Thomas is responding to Mia about her saying that he and Wendy slept together. So this is his response.
Somebody just sent me a clip. You know, I'm going through a lot of shit right now. But somebody just sent me a clip from the Potomac Housewife reunion show. And Mia is going at it with Wendy. And, brother, this is kind of your fault. Because I taped with y'all for 5 minutes promoting Bar in Baltimore and Bar in Miami Beach, and you turned that 5 minutes into 9 episodes, and now my name is thrown around on the reunion show when in real life I don't mess with none of those women. Okay? Giselle, Robin, cool people. The rest of them, Wendy, I shot with her one time, 5 minutes. Didn't go out to dinner with her. I didn't have no late night snack with her. She's a married woman. She's very respectful, very honorable. Okay, so for me, for you to be talking about me and Wendy getting together is so disrespectful, and it's so thirsty. It's real thirsty for you to do that just to collect that check from Bravo. There's nothing cool about that. Okay, and you can't just use my name like that, because if you use my name like that, I'm gonna have my lawyer get in touch with you guys, and it's gonna be really ugly. Okay, because I do not know any of those women. I never see them outside of my establishment. Okay, and y'all just can't recklessly just throw people's name out there like that, because it actually hurt my business, and that's irresponsible. Please cease and desist.
All right, so that was Peter's response to Mia, the very first one. Well, then Mia's husband responds.
It's interesting to me that who I thought was my friend, Peter Thomas, can say things like he doesn't know us like that. I wonder if he didn't know us like that the times when he'd been at our house, eating our food, playing card games, and associating with other people, family members and friends of ours. I guess he didn't know us like that when he held our baby girl and was the first man other than myself to hold our baby girl. I guess he didn't know us like that when he's gone on boat rides with us. I guess he didn't know us like that all the times that we spent at his restaurant supporting his business. And certainly I guess he didn't know us like that when he wanted to borrow $60,000 to pay his bills at Bar One. So I don't know why Peter says he don't know us like that. Maybe that's his definition of not knowing us like that.
Wow.
Not knowing us like that when he's attended our kids' parties. So I guess if that means not knowing someone, then I guess that's what Peter's meaning is. And furthermore, to say this hasn't this has hurt his business, just a few days ago, I personally spoke to Peter and he said that publicity is actually helping his business. And furthermore, the allegations that he's referencing only came out a couple of days ago, so how could it have hurt his business that quickly? Sure. Peter, I guess we don't know you like that.
Wow. Okay. Now, so G called him out. Peter's response.
That's what I'm going to say. I just saw Gordon. I just went on, talked to Bravo, True Original, and they're telling me about the video you post. I didn't say I didn't know you like that or your wife like that. I said I don't know them like that. When I say I don't know them like that, what I'm saying is that, yeah, you called me around a week.
Then Mia posted, and I'm sure that she's deleted it by now. She did. She actually posted a video of Wendy. It was showing Wendy, and Wendy was eating, and you could hear Peter in the background talking about how there was food on the plate, but she had eaten it all, and she was talking about how good it was. It didn't hear anybody else's voices in it, and it probably was just dinner, but for the fact that he says he's never been to dinner with her, he's never had a late night snack with her. He has been to dinner with her at some point, because Mia has that video. Where she got that video, I don't know. But anyway, she deleted it. So on February 28th, the next thing is Peter Thomas was arrested for allegedly choking Tammy Rivera's niece at his restaurant in Baltimore. He supposedly went off on her after he overheard her talking about him. He needs to be locked up for a situation like that. I have more info at Hip Hop 5. Let's go to Hip Hop 5 and see what they got. Okay, so Hip Hop 5 says, Real Housewives of Atlanta star Peter Thomas is back to running into more legal issues. According to the Neighborhood Talk, he was arrested on Tuesday. He was arrested on multiple charges after choking a woman who was identified as Chanel Williams at his Baltimore restaurant, Bar One. Williams is also said to be Tammy Rivera's niece, which I have no idea who that is. See, Rivera is famously known for appearing on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, as well as previously being married to Waka Flocka. Surely that can't be a name. Anyway, we all know Peter was previously married to Cynthia. And I want to know when this happened because they're saying that this happened back in 2021. Actually, let's see. I guess they're saying this happened Tuesday, but I saw another article that said that Cynthia was there, that Cynthia was present at the time as well. So I don't know, maybe since she divorced Mike Hill, she's talking to Peter again. I don't know. Allegedly. Get that out there. And then I read another article where it said these charges were dropped. So I don't know where he stands on that. But that's not his only arrest. I don't know why I keep looking over at my other computer because I should be looking there. Sorry, guys. But that's not the only arrest for Mr. Peter Thomas. He was just recently arrested on a fugitive warrant for bad checks. They arrested him at the airport in Miami Friday when he landed. And another article that I read said that he was kiting. Now, if you don't know what that is, you write a check for this place to cover this place. You write a check for this one to cover this to cover that. And you stage it so that one takes care of the other. And you can only do that for so long before you get caught. And evidently he has gotten caught. So, All About the Tea says he was arrested for felony check fraud. Authorities took Cynthia Bailey's ex-husband into custody at Miami International Airport on a fugitive warrant out-of-state extradite from Louisiana for allegedly writing fraudulent checks. Oh, that's my neck of the woods. Really? Fugitive warrant. So I wonder if they're going to bring him back here. Yeah. On February 27th, Peter, 58, departed Miami, where he has temporarily taken up residence to open a bar on Miami Beach. He shared that he was traveling to Jamrock for 2 days on business, then planned to return to Charlotte, North Carolina, where he operates another sports bar. While in Jamaica, Peter shared that he was making business moves with the Minister of Tourism and the Minister of Arts and Culture. AllAboutTheTea.com has learned that Customs and Border Protection in Miami were alerted that an inbound passenger from Jamaica has a warrant for his arrest. Upon Peter's arrival, authorities took the restaurateur into custody at the airport. The former Bravo celebrity is reported being held without bond and expected to be extradited to Louisiana to face charges. Wow, I'm going to have to look into this and find out where he was accused of writing checks. And this is not your average $100, $200 check. They're not going to extradite you from Miami to Louisiana. They're definitely not going to put a fugitive arrest warrant out on you. All right. The next thing is a new reality show that is supposed to be coming out on E! And from what I gathered, the name of it is going to be House of Villains. And several people have been rumored to be a cast on it. This article from Reality Blurb says Jax Taylor is finally making a highly anticipated return to television. After teasing the possibilities for the past couple of years, the Vanderpump Rules alumni responded to swirling rumors on Instagram confirming that he will be a part of the cast of E's new reality show, House of Villains. Also, Anna Delvey is rumored to be the host. Amoroso is supposed to be on it from Celebrity Apprentice. You may remember her. Farrah Abraham of Teen Mom. I don't know who that is because I don't watch that one. Heidi Montag of The Hills are all rumored to be part of the show. Daniel Staub is rumored to be on it from the Real Housewives of New Jersey. Rachel Riley from Big Brother. John Dalton, Johnny Fairplay from Survivor, if you remember him. Abhishek Sheikh Chatterjee. I know I'm not pronouncing that right. I probably just butchered it. From Love is Blind. And Fissa from 90 Day Fiancé. I'm not even going to try the last name. Corinne Olympios from The Bachelor. Johnny Bananas from The Challenge. I just saw him tweet a picture the other day, and it said, finally back. I had to go out and make some coin. Something to that effect. Tanisha Thomas from Bad Girls Club. Tiffany Pollard from Flavor of Love. I know everybody was really upset that she didn't get on Celebrity Big Brother. Bobby Lights from Love and Hip Hop Miami. Says just last month while speaking to his fans and followers on Instagram, Jax said that when it came to his possible television return, he was obviously coming back. Oh, that's a lot of names, y'all. And this is from I want to say this is from Instagram from MTV Challenge Insider. Yeah, it says the following reality star villains are confirmed to be filming House of Villains, which will be airing on E! And Polly Calafiore commented on that and said, well, now I know why I got dropped from the cast last minute. Little mad face, and excited to see Johnny Fairplay back on TV, though. So evidently Johnny Fairplay may have taken Polly Calafiore's from Big Brother and Challenge, may have taken his spot. Rachel Riley, I see her. Let's see, is this? I'm not doing that one because that one's like so over the top. So, see my grandkids, my grandbabies. Let's see, let's pull up Johnny and see exactly what his tweet was. Johnny bananas. Love me some bananas. Yeah. He said, sorry, my babies. Daddy was away making some bacon. What did I miss? So he could have been referring to the challenge too, though, because he's on Challenge USA or Challenge World of the War of the World, whatever they named the CBS one. So we'll see. But if that's true, Daniel Staub, Rachel Riley, Johnny Fairplay, Johnny Bananas, Amorosa. There's so many of them that are on there that I'm just like, I can't even imagine a show with all of these people on it, because I think they could all play a villain, but we never know. So we'll see what that is. So that's the gist of what I have now for this new reality TV show, House of Villains. So we're going to go over now to Real Housewives of New Jersey. Okay, let's start with her. This is the newbie, Danielle. I don't know if I truly believe that she is what she's showing. I think she's trying so hard over the top to make sure that she gets to stay instead of being a friend of. I do know that Danielle does not like Jackie at all, and they've already had several words because she said that Jackie was looking her up and down and being snobbish. Um, and they've already shown one dinner at her house, and she has a nice house, but it's by no means the house that the rest of these housewives have. And I think she's just trying to make sure that it stays. And I am so flipping over this Teresa and Melissa and Joe feud. It's ridiculous. Everybody says, well, Melissa and Joe wouldn't have a storyline if it weren't for Teresa. The same could be said about Teresa. What storyline would she have if not for fighting with her freaking brother all the time? It's not like she's doing anything other than getting married and to someone who I think is going to take her for a ride. Anyway, I don't like him. I think that he is going to take her for a ride. And I think that Teresa is involving the girls, and I don't like that. I noticed when Melissa and Joe were talking about Teresa in one of the episodes, the kids were there. They were talking to the in-laws about the in-laws not being invited to the wedding, Melissa's mom and sister. And I noticed before they started talking, Joe made the kids leave. So it's like he wasn't going to discuss it. They're of age. They have the internet. I'm sure they have read all about it. But I think it's tacky the way that Teresa and Loie are using the girls and bringing them into it. And to be honest, I don't particularly care for the older Gia. I think she's snooty. I think she's entitled. She has some good stuff to say sometimes. I'm not going to take that away from her. But the facial expressions and just cattiness that she shows, I don't like it. I don't like it at all. And you can actually see it a little bit here in this video where Melissa's trying to talk to her and she's just not having it. Doesn't want to hear anything about it. But I'm over it. It's like, okay, if we can't decide who's right or who's wrong or whatever, move on to something else. Move on to something else. I'm sick of it. Neither one of them would have a storyline without the other. Let's see. Noda Girl says, Joe never feels welcome in Teresa's new family, but never accepts Teresa and Louie's invitations to their events. And that's true. She's tried to put an olive branch out there, but I just think that at this point there's too much that's been done that there's no going back. I just don't think there is. And you got people on Twitter saying, well, why is Teresa obligated to invite her Melissa's mom and Melissa's sister? And I know Teresa said, well, they didn't invite Louie's family to their Sweet 16, their Gabrielle's Sweet 16 thing, or whatever, not Gabriella, but Joe and Melissa's daughter. Well, they didn't invite Louie's family to that. That's a lot different. Louie's been in the scene for 5 minutes. Melissa's mother and sister have been in the family. Their families have been intertwined for over 20 years. So in the Italian culture, that's seen as a slap in the face. I get it. But like I said, enough's enough. Move on with them. Let's go hear something else other than them two feuding. Fire both of them. Get rid of both of them. Bring two more people on and get a whole new season and start all over. That's how I feel anyway at the moment. It might change by the end of the season, but we'll see. But we'll go on to that. The next thing is I read today, I wasn't even going to add this, but I just read a while ago that Michael Darby is supposedly suing Candace. So I just saw this today. I wasn't going to bring it up, but I'm going to make this the last point, and then I'll make it off of here. I just read from Daily Bravo that Michael Darby is suing Candace about what Candace said that he was gay. He's suing her for defamation, and he's asking for $2 million. I don't know Michael Darby. I just started Real Housewives of Potomac this year, so I haven't really seen him. But this is laughable. Candace, number one, is not the only one that has said something like this. Karen said something like this when she was talking about him getting caught sucking someone's, Karen has said stuff like that. I believe Giselle has, Robin has, and he's picking Candace. Out of all of the people, he's picking Candace to sue. This is crazy, 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 crazy. And as far as I know from everything I've heard, he's like all the handsy, like creepy, touchy kind of person. It's like, what? What are you talking about? I just think this is absolutely asinine. TMZ says Michael Darby suing Candace Dillard Bassett. Your oral sex claims are BS. Like I said, she's not the only one that said it. But yet, he's going after her, and I'm wondering if Ashley doesn't have something to do with this. I'm hoping not. But I'm sure if she does, that it will come out. So, that's about all I have for you guys for today. That's 2 days. 2 days worth of stuff for Real Housewives of Atlanta and Real Housewives of Potomac. Oh, it may even get crazier. We shall see. Shout out to my grandbabies. I love you guys. And let's go back to one. There we go. Oh, sorry for my cluttered house. So that's all I have for you guys tonight. I will see you in a couple of days. And as always, don't forget to like, comment, and share. And there's also a super thanks button on all of the videos now. If you feel inclined and you would like to show a little love, I'd appreciate it. So thank you guys. And as always, have a great night and much love.